Good morning, afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by WeUni in collaboration with EA University. My name is Florencia, and I will have the pleasure of being your host throughout today's event. First of all, I want to thank you for joining us. We know your time is very valuable, and that's why we have prepared a special session with outstanding speaker who will share her expertise and insights with all of us. Before we start, a quick reminder. During the presentation, you can submit all your questions throughout the Q&A box at the bottom of Zoom. At the end of the talk, we will open a Q&A session where our speaker will interact directly with you. Also, all participants attending this event will be entitled to request a certificate of attendance issued by WeUni. At the end of the session, we will share the link in the chat so you can register and receive it. Now, let me introduce today's special guest. We are here with Manuela Fusco, Senior Manager of Global Admissions and Enrollment at EA University's Business School. Manuela, it's truly an honor to have you with us. Welcome and thank you. How are you?
Thank you for the lovely introduction, Fleur.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm really happy to be here with you today. So, as Fleur mentioned, I am Senior Manager of Global Admissions and Enrollment at I University, and I have been working with international students for over a decade now, helping them navigate a little bit one of the most transformative experiences in their lives, studying abroad. So, today I would like to share a few insights on why international exposure matters so much in business education, how it shapes both personal and professional growth. But let me tell you a little bit about myself before we dive into the session, okay? So, I was born and raised in Naples, Italy, but I've been living in Spain for several years now. And in a way, I consider myself a product of international education because during my university years, I had an amazing opportunity of an Erasmus exchange in Barcelona. And this experience truly changed my perspective. Of course, it wasn't just about improving my Spanish, but it was about discovering a new way of thinking, learning to adapt, connected with people from all over the world. Later on, I moved to Spain for good. I joined the admissions department at IE. I also completed a master's degree here in a truly international classroom with more than 20 nationalities represented. And all these experiences made me realize something extremely important, that education is no longer just about what you study, but how and where you study. And that's something that I've seen time and time again with my students. The way a new environment can change not only how you learn, but how you see yourself. The world we live in now is incredibly interconnected because businesses, cultures, ideas move faster and faster than ever. So being able to understand different perspectives is no longer a nice to have in your CV. It's literally essential. But now, speaking of different perspective, I would really like to know where everyone is joining from today. You can use the chat at the bottom of your screen and type the city or country you are based in. Hi, Madrid. Okay. Don't be shy. Nigeria. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Haiti. Wow. South Africa. Oh my goodness. Colombia. Hi, everyone. Egypt. Oh, nice. That's amazing. Okay, thank you very much for sharing. Every time I ask this question, I love seeing how global the room already is. I would say it's a small example of what education looks like today, connected and diverse. And actually, this already proves my point. We are experiencing global diversity right here, right now. So that's what we are going to explore today. We're going to talk about how global mobility and multicultural learning shape not only what you know, but how you think, how you work, how you grow, how these experiences are shaping the next generation of business leaders. So let's start. When we talk about international university, probably we all think of something very modern, right? Students traveling, learning new languages, connecting across cultures. But actually, the idea of learning through travel has been around for centuries. In the 17th and 18th centuries, young Europeans, mainly from aristocratic families, would embark on what was called the Grand Tour. I don't know if there are someone studying European history now or just history lovers. Maybe you already know what I'm talking about. The Grand Tour was seen as the final step of young aristocrat education. They will spend months, sometimes years, traveling across Europe, studying mainly politics and languages, but also arts, architecture, philosophy. But the goal wasn't just academic knowledge, was learning how to behave, how to observe, how to think like a citizen of the world. When you think about it, it's fascinating because back then they didn't have WhatsApp, TikTok, flights, but they understood something essential that the best education happens when you step outside what you already know. So indeed, we can consider the Grand Tour one of the first forms of international education. But of course, at that time, only a few could afford it. It was a privilege. What is interesting is that even though centuries have passed, the idea behind it hasn't changed much. Learning from the world, not just from books. Of course, today, students travel not only as observers, but also as participants because they can contribute with their ideas, they can collaborate across borders, prepare to shape the global world we live in. The way we study, we communicate, we work as no borders. A team can design a project in Madrid, manage it from Singapore, present it in New York, everything in 1 week. So the world you're preparing for is not only divided by geography or passports, is really connected by ideas. And that's why developing a global mindset is a key part of your education. Now, I would like to know again from you, who here is currently studying or has already studied in an international environment? So, with classmates from other countries or in an English speaking school? Could you type just me in the chat? Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I see some me's already. Okay. If you haven't studied international environment yet, no problem at all. Actually, you are in the right place to get a taste of what global learning is all about. For those who have, I'm sure you're going to agree with me on this one. When you share classes or collaborate in a project with people from different cultures, you learn to listen before speaking. And above all, you learn that there is more than one right way of doing things. And that's already a first step toward global learning. So let's do a quick imagination game. Let's imagine that you are part of a team of classmates from 5 different countries and you all disagree on how to start a project. What would you do? Type A if you will vote quickly so you can just move on. Type B if you will try to reach full consensus. Or type C if you will let the team leader decide. Let's see what you come up with. I see a lot of B's or C. Ah, some A. Okay, that's a nice mix. No judging here. I promise. Thank you for sharing and being so participating. I mean, not judging because this is what happens in global teams. Each of these answers reflects a different cultural approach to teamwork, and that's what international education prepares you for. But of course, global learning isn't just about understanding others, it's also about understanding yourself. When you move to another countries, you suddenly become a beginner again. You learn to navigate a new culture. Maybe you learn even a new language. But the small things such as buying food, taking the metro, those moments that feel uncomfortable at first are the ones that make you grow the most. I remember when I first moved to Spain, I thought my Spanish was quite good until I had to open a bank account. That was a nightmare. But that's exactly how you grow. You adapt. So every small challenge can become a story of resilience. Let's do another game, okay? Let's imagine that you had to move abroad tomorrow. What would be the first thing that excites you? And what would be a thing that scares you a little? You can type one word for each in the chat. Don't overthink it, okay? What is going to excite you about moving abroad? Or what is going to scare you about moving abroad? Hmm. Okay, so I can see we're receiving the first replies. New environments, new cultures, safety. Not sure if safety is the good or bad. Missing home. Hmm. Feeling as an outsider. Wow. Thank you very much for sharing. Over the years, I've met a lot of students who have gone through this kind of journeys. Every time I ask this question, I get similar answers. Doesn't matter where I am, because we all go through the same emotions when we step into something new. There is always a mix of curiosity and fear. And this is the mix that leads to growth. We often think of education as a sort of straight path, but personal growth looks like a spiral, actually. You circle back to the same situations, but with new skills and a different mindset each time. Let me show you something that can explain this feeling quite perfectly. It's called the comfort zone map. Have you ever seen this before? If no, it's perfectly fine. If someone is familiar with this concept, you can reply yes in the chat. I'm going to explain it, of course, so no worries if no. Okay. Okay, some yes and some no. That's great. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at this. When we stay in our comfort zone, things feel easy, right? But actually, we are not growing much. Then when we jump into the fear zone, we definitely stop learning because it's too overwhelming. It's right in the middle, in what is called the learning zone, where the transformation happens. And finally, of course, there is the growth zone. So we start setting new goals, we find new purposes, we start living our dreams. So let's go back to our past. Let's think about a moment when we were in the learning zone. I don't know, maybe we were joining a new club at school or we started learning a new language. Could you think about a word that describes that moment, describes how it felt? But again, don't overthink it. The first word that comes to mind. Okay. Wow, so far a very nice mix. Anxiety, a lot of anxieties, but also excitement, no? Yeah, overwhelming. Hmm. Yeah, this sort of mix of emotions is what learning really feels like. And that's what studying abroad is definitely all about. You move from comfort into fear, but then you move into learning and definitely into growth. You become more confident when you study abroad, more adaptable, more aware of your potential. This is the true value of international exposure. Stepping out of your comfort zone leads to growth. But what really changes when you study in a new environment? From a more educational perspective, international exposure shapes learning in three main ways: cognitive, because you start thinking differently, you're exposed to new ways of solving the same problem; social, because you work differently. Collaboration and communication across cultures require definitely new skills; and emotional, because you feel differently, because you need to adapt to change. So you start building empathy, resilience, confidence. This doesn't change only how you learn, but who you learn from. Because when you share class with people from all over the world, from different backgrounds, the discussion itself is a lesson. But this isn't just personal growth. This has a real, measurable impact on your future career. We live in a world that is constantly changing from the technological point of view, the environmental point of view, the social point of view. The challenges we face nowadays, if we think about inclusion, climate change, innovation, can't be solved by one country or one perspective alone. And that's why international education isn't just a personal experience or nice to have, as I told you before. It's really a global need now. Studying in a multicultural environments can help students to develop the ability to find solutions that can work also in different contexts. Or in other words, global exposure improves collaboration, innovation, and employability. And data proves it. There are research from around the world that shows how studying abroad directly impacts employability. For example, the Erasmus Impact Study by the European Commission surveyed more than 75,000 students and employers. And the study found that those who study abroad develop stronger problem solving skills, adaptability, self confidence, curiosity, exactly what employers are looking for today. Then the British Council reached similar conclusion. Their study called A World of Experience shows that global exposure improves collaboration, innovation, and overall employability. But not because you memorize more information, but because you learn how to navigate new contexts. And then the Institute of International Education in the US found that global experiences strengthen communication, teamwork, and cultural awareness. And many graduates actually credit these experiences for helping them find jobs faster. All these studies point in the same direction across the continents. Doesn't matter if we're talking about Europe, US, different educational systems. The message is clear. Studying abroad has a measurable, lasting impact that is not only emotional or academic, it's professional. The job market today looks nothing like it did 10 or even 5 years ago. If we think about the most demanded roles today, I don't know, AI ethics, sustainability consulting, they didn't even exist 10 years ago. So routine tasks can be automated. But what makes professionals stand out are certain skills that cannot be replaced by machines. The same we were mentioned before: adaptability, creativity, communication, empathy, leadership. These are the skills that global education can build. Now, If you had to guess, what do you think is the number one skill companies are looking for today? Type in the chat. Let's see what you think. Any idea? What do you think is the top skill companies are looking for today? Flexibility, adaptability, innovation, computer knowledge, no technology, human approach. That's great. Okay, let's have a look at the World Economics Forum list of top skills. If we look at this list, you can notice that these aren't skills you can memorize from a book anymore. You build them by living, adapting, collaborating, learning in new environments. Now, let's try to map some of them, see what happens when students move between countries. If we think about analytical or critical thinking skills, why? Because students face new markets, new consumer behaviors, so they learn to reframe business problems for new contexts. If we think about resilience and flexibility, every move, so every house, every new system, new friends, every move builds adaptability and stress management. If we think about technology, using digital tools to collaborate globally becomes a sort of second nature, right? Remember, when students study in different countries, they don't learn these skills, they apply these skills every single day. All these skills together form what educators call nowadays global competence. It's a mindset. It's the ability to understand global issues and take action for a collective well-being. So it's not just about learning new languages, but it's about developing awareness, realizing that, of course, our perspectives are shaped by where we come from, but we can really learn from others who see the world differently. Of course, I know that if we talk about global competence can sound a little bit abstract, right? But it's actually very practical because being globally competent means asking questions before making assumptions. It means showing curiosity. It means listening with empathy. It means collaborating with people whose ideas may challenge our own ideas. These are the habits that international education helps you build. But this impact goes far beyond your classroom because it's going to shape the way you're going to work and the way you're going to lead. And that's exactly what we see reflected into real outcomes, employability, career growth. So what actually happens when students take the step and study abroad? According to Erasmus+, students with international experience are 50% less likely to face long-term unemployment, and they are twice as likely to work in international roles later in their careers. And these results have been consistent for years. And this is a pattern that is not unique to Europe. We see literally everywhere. When companies hire someone that is globally minded, they get people who can communicate across cultures, right? It means that they can be able to manage uncertainty and they can be able to bring more creative solutions to the table. It's not just being employable, it's being future proof. But here is the key. For international exposure to have this kind of impact, it has to be intentional. Global education only works when it's designed with purpose. When the academic journey, the career preparation, the personal development, everything connect. It's only with this sort of structure, with this support, that something amazing can happen. When students don't just move between countries, they move through different stages of growth. So they begin to see how The theory connects to the reality, how culture can really influence communication, and most importantly, how leadership means something different in every context. That's when international exposure becomes transformational, and research confirms it. Students who study abroad show greater confidence and adaptability. It means that they learn to lead themselves before leading others. And that's what we mean when we talk about structured mobility creating meaningful transformation. What international exposure can build is a growth mindset. The idea of growth mindset comes from Carol Dweck, that is a psychology from Stanford University, who explained that challenges are not threats, are opportunities to grow. And that's exactly what international education does. It helps you to see challenges as a path to learning because you become more comfortable with change, so more resilient. In international education, we sometimes call this the development of intercultural sensitivity. It means moving from seeing differences as barriers to see them as opportunities for learning. This model shows how, as we move through different stages of our understanding, we become more open, more flexible, and more effective, even if we are in diverse environments. So that's what global learning can develop, not only knowledge, but perspective. Every time you step into a new culture, you step into a new version of yourself. And that's why here at IE, we believe that global learning shouldn't be experienced, not just taught. That's the mindset behind our new program, the Global Bachelor in Business Administration. It's a degree where students can learn about international business, but can especially live international business. They will experience different cultures, business environments, economic systems firsthand. It means that we're going to learn to lead across borders. Of course, to work with people who think differently, so to transform challenges into opportunities. So, if you have been interested so far in what we have discussed today and you are considering studying abroad, maybe you're going to find this next part especially interesting. And as announced, we're going to have a quick overview of the program, also to show you how everything we have discussed so far comes together into this program. As you can see, of course, it's a 4-year full-time bachelor that starts in our Madrid campus, where you will build a foundation in economics, in management, in marketing, in finance, in the core business disciplines. And after the first year, the program becomes even more global because it's when you're going to start rotating through our partner universities. In second year, the American University in Dubai, and in third year, the Singapore Management University. Those destinations have been chosen very carefully. Indeed, they are very dynamic, but they are also full of opportunities for your growth. And then in your final year, you're going to have the opportunity to personalize a little bit your path. You can choose if you would like to come back to Madrid or if you want to be part of our accelerated program and obtain at the same time your bachelor with a university and your master in New York with IE NYC. This amazing program combines three integrated paths that can help you to experience global learning from very different perspectives. The first one is called Global Foresight Regional Intelligence. It means that beyond the regular courses of a BBA program, you're going to have additional courses, seminar, workshops, experiences in geoeconomics, geopolitics, to have the opportunity to understand how global markets work. It's not just a theory, of course. It's about anticipating how the global trends will impact business and learning to think strategically across borders. The second pathway is called global impact skills. It's extremely important because I would say that captures a little bit the essence of today's topic because it's all about the human side of global learning. Communication, adaptability, leadership across cultures. And the third is Global Career Development Program. Because from year one, you're going to have our career department supporting you to reframe your curriculum, get you to connect what you learn in class to real world opportunities. So having the opportunity to do internships from the very beginning and build clarity about your career goals along the way. The program is not global only for the name or for the subjects that you will be studying, but also because there are included several transformational global experiences. For example, corporate challenges and innovation labs that will run throughout the 4 years across regions. We believe it's important for you to be exposed to real companies, industries. This is really essential for the development of a true global leader. So that's why throughout all these challenges and labs, you will have the opportunity to be exposed to real business problems. Then there are going to be regional business tracks. This is a key feature that will allow you to learn more about other regions beyond the 4 main hubs. These are week-long journeys that will allow you to be exposed more to the cultures. So you're going to have the opportunity to visit companies and learn about the local markets in depth. The first will be in Morocco, and it's the only one that is mandatory. The others along the 4 years are optional, but let me say that I will say they could be essential for the development of your path. And finally, for those of you who want to go even further and complete the Global BBA, having been in all continents, there are a lot of opportunities for global summer experiences. Let's say that we want you to feel that the world is your campus, okay? So at every location, you will have, of course, access to everything: activities, clubs, sports, volunteering, and a lot of support from the IT and for the local teams. But most importantly, you will graduate with a global network of classmates and friends across continents, connections that often become professional opportunities later in life. And after graduation, let me say that opportunities are limitless, from multinational to startups, consulting firms, NGOs, launching your own venture. Wherever you will be after your graduation, you will always be part of one global community. And that's really the foundation of everything we have talked about today. Because whether you're studying one, two, or several countries, international exposure is about who you become. Every challenge you're going to face, every new perspective you're going to discover, every new person you're going to meet is going to add something to the way you think, you're going to work, and you're going to lead. That's what makes global education so powerful nowadays. And this is what definitely we believe at Thai University. I would like to hear from you again. After everything we have discussed, what is one word that comes to your mind when you think of global education? Let's use the chat again. Amazing. Thank you. Global education or this presentation? I'm joking. Anyone else would like to share? An incredible experience? Just one word, guys, one word. Can you do it in one word? It's a challenge, I know. Future, mind growth, connections. Yeah, definitely growth. Multicultural, cultural experience. I don't know if anyone would like to share. Anyone else? Adaptability, indeed. Okay. Experience. Okay. Okay, Flor, I believe I'm already ready for questions. I don't know if I am able to see the chat box.
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you, Manuela. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you, everyone that has been participating so actively on the chat. I was like watching all the answers. It's really interesting to see all the point of views of our participants. So yes, we have some questions on the chat and also on the Q&A box. I suggest everyone, if you have questions for Manuela about the experience of studying at IE University, studying abroad, or also about the Global BBA, just type down all your questions here so that we can answer them in the next minutes. I will
Thank you,
start,
Flor.
Manuela. What do you think?
Yes, yes,
Yes?
I definitely have access to both to the chat box, and I'm gonna try to also to reply together to a couple that are could be connected. You're asking
Okay.
about prices and scholarship. Okay. Of course, this has a higher price compared to a regular BBA because, as I mentioned, you're gonna have extra courses, the tracks, and so on. So the price is 43,800 euros each year for the tuition fees. Now, we do have an amazing foundation at IE University that provides different kind of scholarships. The scholarships can be for academic excellence in case you have an amazing academic trajectory. They could be personal excellence if you excel in sport, you already created your company. They can be collaboration scholarships, meaning that you will collaborate with some of our departments. I don't know, for example, as ambassadors of the uni during events. Remember, in order to be considered for a scholarship, you have to be admitted before. We have a rolling admission process at a university, and it's holistic as well. It means that we go a little bit beyond just grades, and you have to complete several steps. That, of course, if you are interested in it, I can give a quick overview of the process as well. But remember, we also have limited spot. If you are really interested in the program, the sooner the better. Okay. Now, the program is fully taught in English. Even if the first year is in Spain, the program is not offered in Spanish because this is an international university with students and professors and staff. We are from all over the world, and everything is taught in English. Spanish is not required to be admitted, but for those who do not speak Spanish while they start uni, they will have to take Spanish classes as well. And you cannot choose location unless we're talking about the fourth year. The first year is in Madrid, the second is in Dubai, the third is in Singapore. It's only in fourth year that you can decide if you want to come back to Madrid or if you want to go to New York. What are we looking for in a candidate? Very good question. As I was saying, we have a holistic approach. We do have academic requirements that we can find in our website according to the educational system, but we have several steps to understand who you really are and what you really want in your life. If you can be an high profile, definitely someone that is able to think out of the box, to share previous knowledge as well. And I'm not only talking about the Global BBA, I'm talking about all the programs, okay? So there is an admission test that is a psychological test that can tell us a little bit about you. There is also an online assessment where you receive live questions and you can reply with your personal thoughts so you can know about you. You're asking if this is only a business university. Not really. Being honest, we are born as a business school from the 70s. The first master we offer was a master in management, but we have 6 schools currently, and we offer a wide range of different programs: architecture, design, humanities, international relations, a lot of tech programs, laws. But the truth is that Entrepreneurship is one of our values. So all our students will take business management and entrepreneurship courses anyway. Okay. But if you're not really interested only in business, there are a lot of other programs. You can have a look at our website as well. So, visa. Yes, students with no European passport, you will have to request a visa. We have a student services department that supports our student. Doesn't matter the program that they're gonna study. But if we talk about the global BBA, of course, this department is gonna support also with the transition from one country to another. Also, to request a visa, you need to be admitted before and have reserved your spot at the university. Okay. English certificates is a very good question. Okay, as of today, we request a minimum of C1 level, and we accept some certificates such as the C1 of Cambridge, IELTS. We also accept a Duolingo minimum 135 points. We might add a couple more. So be sure to have a look at our website and the requirements where there is the updated information. Is there a certificate for this? I'm not sure if they're
Let me,
asking for
yeah, let me
for
jump.
this.
Let me jump
Oh,
in because
for this.
this question is for me.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yes, there is a certificate for this webinar. Actually, I'm going to send you in a couple of minutes a link so that you can request a certificate for this webinar. Also, just to let you know that tomorrow you're going to receive an email from WeUni by Doc City with the recording of this event, some more information about EA and how you can contact them if you need further information, or you want to contact the admissions team, or to just research a little bit more about the program and other programs the university has. Okay.
Thank you very much, Flor. I see that they're asking about deadlines. As I was saying, we have a rolling admission process, but limited spot. My recommendation is always the sooner the better. Not sure if you are all in your senior year or someone here is still in junior year, but you're already late if you're gonna start this September, okay? Also because more personal tip, when you start approaching finals, you need to focus on that. So for example, Christmas or winter break, it's always a very good moment to focus on our application. We do not close the application during the breaks, you know. That's what we mean with rolling admission process. So it would be a great opportunity for you to start the application.
Okay.
Accommodations. No, we recommend options, but we don't force anyone to stay in a dorm, for example. In Madrid, there are a lot of residencies. We have agreements with host families. We also have an amazing website with apartments opportunity. And when you move to the other locations, the team is going to support you also on find accommodation, both the iUniversity team and the local teams there. It's really up to you what you prefer. If you prefer to start in a residence because it's easy to meet new students from the very first moment, why not? But if you are in a boarding school, for instance, so you're already living the residence experience, maybe you would like to go directly on an apartment, okay? I'm trying to check both
Yes,
the, the
I can help you, Manuela.
yeah,
They are asking, what's the cost of living in Madrid?
oof,
Approximately, I know it
yeah.
depends of.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. If also if we think about accommodations, there is a big difference there because a residence can be more expensive than an apartment, but on the other hand, everything is done by someone else, no? Cooking, cleaning. The apartment, it depends also on the location because Madrid is a very big city. With the metro, you can reach uni very easily. So, and also depends on personal life. And there it also depends on you a lot. So I know that when you start asking about accommodation options to our student services team, they send you an approx according to what you prefer, and so they're going to be able to guide you better in that sense.
Okay. We
Great.
have another question. They are asking, do I need to be a full-time student?
Yes,
I
very
think.
good question. Classes are mandatory. And most importantly, participation is part of the grade. This is a very learning by doing university. That's the reason why I was trying to challenge a little bit you with the chat as well, because when I was doing my master, of course, it was a part-time master. Everything was online, and we had to reply all the time to the questions because this is the way you really learn as well. It's also demanding in the sense that you're going to have to do projects, a lot of projects, sometimes group projects, sometimes individual ones. So you need to be at uni for the projects, okay? Because you're going to need to meet with your classmates, develop the projects, do trials and everything. So yeah, it's a full-time university.
Okay. Okay, we have another question here.
A
And after
job,
the BBA, yeah, do you help with job search?
not
Let's talk,
after,
yeah, let's
from the
talk all
very
about this.
beginning.
Okay,
From the
yes,
very beginning, we are going to have a career advisor supporting you from the very first moment. For us, it's important to help you to build your own path, okay? They support you, helping you to prepare your curriculum, to create your LinkedIn profile. Nowadays, now, Flor, without LinkedIn, we could be literally lost, right?
of course.
They send you internships opportunities for all the summers because classes here ends quite early in May, so you have a big summer break, I would say, and you can take advantage of that. But on the other hand, it's also really up to you how you take advantage of our opportunities. It is true that does an amazing job. So we are very high in employability rankings. And the reason of that is because they support a lot our students, not after graduation, from year one until 1 year after your graduation. So they work with you during 5 years, and it's amazing. So I always recommend students to work with them from the very first moment.
Yes, and Manuela, we have to say here that the university is really well connected. Also, you have partnerships with a lot of companies, big companies that offer great opportunities to everyone, but especially to students from the university.
Yeah, I know. And what I like, especially of the BBA program, is that it's very multidisciplinary. So they can also try a wide range of internships, maybe in first year they want to try something more finance related, and second year they want to try something more I don't know, a startup, and then they want to go a little bit more on the creative side and try something more marketing related. That's what we mean with build your own path. And the internships, they do not have to be in Spain. You can go back home, you can try new countries, you would like to stay in Europe, you can really really personalize your experience here.
Yes. And also, let's say that learning an entire career in English opens you a lot of doors, you
Mm,
know? Uh,
absolutely.
yeah. After this program, you will have an excellent English level if you don't have it already.
Yeah, you should have to be admitted, but yes, definitely. When you
Okay.
share, also because when you share classes with people from all over the world, as I was saying before, uh, yeah, from the human side, you learn how to listen, and yes, you learn to be used to different accents and way to also to express ideas, no? And of course, sometimes can be a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie, but generally speaking, it's super interesting.
Yes. So, Manuela, we are arriving at the end of the session. If anyone has another question, it's just the time to write it down. If not, of course, as I said before, you can contact the university anytime you want. I recommend you to go through the website of EA and take a look of all the possibilities the university offers, not only this program, but there are a lot of programs for any type of interest. Tomorrow you're going to receive an email with from our side with the registration of this webinar. Also the contact information of the university. So I really recommend you to inform you better about all the possibilities you have. Manuela, I would like you to, okay, we see here on the
Yeah,
screen
thank you.
your
Thank
contact.
you, Flor. I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much for being such an engaged audience. I really hope that this conversation gives you some ideas on what global education means. If you are interested in this topic or interested in applying the global BBA, please feel free to contact me. You have here on the screen my contact details, okay? And I don't know if you are receiving some more last second questions or if not,
No,
we're
we
gonna
have
close.
we have just one question from Bucharest, Romania. I
Hmm.
don't really understand. So the person that asked if can clarify a little bit because
Let me
he or
see the
she is
translation.
saying that if we are students at the program and the program does not allow us to leave the location where we are studying, how can we still participate in the program? Unfortunately, I don't think there is an option here,
I'm not
Manuela,
sure.
right?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I understand probably the question, but if we are talking about with the program, you mean the global BBA? This is the way the program has been designed, so you move to the next location. Okay, so there is no other option unless we're talking about again fourth year when you can personalize how you're gonna end the path. Okay, so I don't know what you mean with the program does not allow us to leave the location. I don't know if you want to try to clarify, or you can also contact me if you prefer. You can send an email. Okay.
Okay, you have
Thank
your email, Manuela. I'm going.
we have scholarships again. We give scholarships to opportunity to apply to scholarships to all admitted students. Doesn't matter the nationality. Okay. As I was saying, you need to be admitted before, and then you can send your scholarship application.
Okay, okay, Manuela. Thank you for answering all the questions. I would like you to leave our participants a final message, if you want, before we close this session.
Um, I don't know. I hope you're gonna be inspired to step out from the comfort zone a little bit. If it's not with IE, of course, it can be with any university, but I really hope we were able to inspire you today.
Okay, thank you, Manuela, so much for your time. Your presentation was very clear, at least to me, it was super clear.
Thank you,
We have
Flora.
now reached the end of today's webinar, and on behalf of WeUni and EA University, I'd like to sincerely thank our main speaker for being here and for sharing your knowledge with us, Manuela. Also,
You're welcome.
thank each and every participant who joined us today and who participated really actively during this session. Your presence and your questions made this session much more dynamic. So thank you. And as a final reminder, if you'd like to receive your certificate of attendance, please make sure to fill out the form I have shared in the chat. You will then receive your certificate directly in your email. As I answered someone that was asking before, this certificate is absolutely for free. So just ask for it and it will arrive to your email. Once again, thank you all for being with us. I really look forward to seeing you in the next events organized by WeUni. And have you all a wonderful day or afternoon or evening. It depends on where
On
you
time
are.
zone.
Yes, it depends a lot on the time zone. Here is night. Yes. Okay, thank you, Manuela, and thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, Flor. Bye, bye, everyone.